The tension is rising. Everyone is glaring at you from their seats. The spotlight is illuminating you and the dozens of other Rubik's cubes on the table. Sweat is dripping from your face. The timer is set and goes off. You instantly grab a level 1 cube and begin fiddling with your fingers until you get the right combination. A level 1 cube is easy, as it only requires a few moves to get the colors on each side. In general, the best way to solve a Rubik's Cube is to get the white square in the center and keep it facing up. And then you have to create a cross while using the white center square as the midpoint, while also moving the other colors in a cross shape. Look for a white piece at the bottom of the cube. If it's a corner piece, then don't go for it. Preferably, go for the piece that will make the shape of a cross. Next, move it along while keeping it on the bottom until it's lined up, and then move it 180 degrees. You'll solve a straight line from the white squares on the top part where you had the white centerpiece. The next part is a bit tricky, as you'll be getting the rest of the cross to form. Make sure you don't disrupt the original line that you formed. Study the layout and try to find the other white pieces scattered around. This step might make you feel like you're shifting the entire formation, but switch the top part counterclockwise after getting your targeted white piece to the right side. After this part, you'll have to search for the last piece to form the cross. It might be in the middle of the bottom. If it is in the middle, you can move it downward to the bottom and then bring it back up until you get yourself the cross. By achieving this, you'll also have the center squares adjacent to their respective colors and in a cross shape like the white pieces. Take your left thumb and place it on the center of the cube and your right finger on the bottom with the other right finger on the top part to get ready to do some shifting. Start by turning the right side upward. Use your right index finger and pull the top part towards you. Then you have to turn the right side back down. And finally, use the left index finger to turn the top part also towards you. Then just keep repeating these steps until you start seeing some combinations and color matching. So that was the action with your right hand. Now you got to figure out the left hand technique. Get your fingers in position by placing your right thumb on the center of the cube and your left thumb and middle finger on the bottom and top respectively. Twist the cube upward with your left hand and then pull the top to rotate towards you. Twist the part again downward with your left hand and then use your right index finger to pull the top part towards you. You'll be making a constant circular motion with both the left and right hands. Repeat this step for a while. The next step is to search for a white part in the top corner. Make sure to pay attention to other colors adjacent to it. Since they're next to the white color, you'll need to figure out where they have to go. Check the centers and see if the colors that are adjacent to the white piece are sitting nicely in the centers of the cube. The white center square should be in the same place as the beginning, and if the colors green and orange are adjacent to it, then you should see green in one center and orange in another center. This means that the orange piece should move toward the orange center and the green piece toward the green center. To move them to their spots, you can use the right-hand combination moves that you used earlier and repeat the motion until they're there. At this point, you should have the white squares completely on one side. After this, search for the yellow centerpiece and try to find the pieces around it that don't have it. You may find orange and blue stuck together on a top piece. If you do, you'll have to move them away. Use your right hand to separate them with the same right-hand combination you made earlier. And then, you'll have to do the same combination with your left hand. The white part will remain on the side of the cube, and the other colors will start to take shape and be more centered on a certain side. Keep searching for two pieces that aren't the same color on the cube and repeat the combinations until they're all placed in their color category. But you'll have one completely random side. Now, don't panic, this is part of the process. Keep the part of the random colors on the top, turn the layer in front of you clockwise, and then repeat the right-hand combination. After that, turn the layer facing you counterclockwise once. If you get an L shape on the top, then rotate it until the corner of the L is facing the top left corner of the cube. Next, repeat this step by turning the front layer clockwise, right-hand combination, and then undo the front layer back to how it was. Ah, you're almost done. Now you'll have the yellow cross on the top side. The next step is lining up the rest of the pieces. Depending on how you did it, you can either line up all 4 or just 2. If you have 2 solved crosses, place them on the back side and your right side. Move the right layer up and then the top layer to the left, and then put the right side back down. Move the top layer once more to the left and then move the right side back up. Move the left piece back to the right again, and you'll see that 80% of the colors have now filled their places, so you can now line everything else. Look at the corner pieces and see if the 3 colors that make the outer corner are in their right spots. If none are in the right spot, then you'll have to do another combination to get them in their corresponding spots. Get the right side up and use your left index finger to pull the top layer towards you and then the left layer up. Next, do the same thing, except move the right side down and the left side down too. If nothing is in its correct spot, then repeat the steps. Now you're in the home stretch. Most of the sides will be solved, so you'll just have to figure whatever is left out one by one. Take the most jumbled up part and place it at the bottom. This will require you to make the right-hand combination moves to solve the corner squares. Make these moves without rotating the cube, or else you'll have to start over. Continue this and voila! You did it! This is a basic Rubik's Cube, and solving any cube is just a matter of following these steps. So, everyone is watching you complete the steps in a matter of seconds. Your fingers are blazing through the cubes that they can't even see them sharply. But after solving the first few, you start to get odd shapes like pyramids and polygons. They may seem intimidating, but they actually follow the same steps and principles as a regular Rubik's Cube. It doesn't matter the shape or how many colors and layers. It all comes down to the technique and sharpness of the person solving it. The next shapes are extremely odd and uneven. It will take a bit more time to understand the shape, but eventually you'll just whiz through it and impress the crowd. Your fingers are tired from making all the moves and combinations. You take a break and see them roll out the final cube to solve. The crowd is in shock. The colors are completely scrambled, and you have only 3 minutes to solve this. You take some time to study it, but your mind feels like scrambled eggs. Well, you're face to face with the biggest puzzle on the planet and had no idea it even existed. Now, even though it might look intimidating, it also follows the same steps and moves. The countdown begins and you start solving it. After completing the first couple of steps, you accidentally mess up and have to start over from the beginning. You compose yourself and then continue. Only 30 seconds left and you're solving the corner. With 3 seconds to go, you finally solve it. You solve level 1 to 100 and are now crowned the champion. Ooh, pretty cool.